This man discovers a deep, dark secret. He finds out he's one of the babies who survived Canada's Butterbox scandal. Griffin has the exclusive story.
Imagine you're 52 years old, you've led a pretty good life and now live in a dream house in Lemon Grove, California, and suddenly find out you are a survivor of a horrendous mystery in Nova Scotia, Canada. That Don Davis, when he was a newborn, escaped the clutches of death. That his adoptive parents shielded the truth from him until their deaths. And that now you're finding out your real mom may be out there, still alive, and still thinking the son she gave birth to in May of 1946 was stillborn. And now, because of this number, you have the chance to actually meet the woman who gave birth to you and finally say what you have only dreamed of saying for 52 years.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, Don Davis is not exactly the maudlin type. Maybe it's because, though adopted, he's had a pretty good life.
Then I was an only child, so I was spoiled.
He's married to his wife Jan now for 29 years. They have 2 grown sons and a house full of hobbies. But this Southern California is now finding out that his very beginning was bizarre. Though he laughs about it, he actually survived what hundreds of other babies didn't.
And here I am, 52 years old, finding about this stuff, and it's all been within the last 3 weeks, so it is exciting.
What is exciting to Don Davis has become one of Canada's most awful secrets. This is all that's left of the Ideal Maternity Home, a picture of what is now burned down. But it was here from the 1920s until 1946. Unwed mothers came to give birth. But the babies born here would never know their real mothers. There were hundreds of them, maybe thousands, and the owners, Lila and William Young, would keep them only long enough to sell them. The real mother would be told their children had died. The truth was they were alive and being sold for a small fortune, some as high as $10,000, to wealthy older couples from the United States. Those who weren't purchased because of health problems or race or deformities were placed in crates, butter boxes from a nearby dairy, and starved to death on a diet of molasses and water.
It was the saddest thing I ever saw. And these babies, I guess, eventually did die because they were never fed or anything.
They were buried in mass graves, some simply tossed in the ocean.
By coming from this place, you survived where others didn't.
Right, and that's a good feeling because I could be buried in a box somewhere in Nova Scotia.
Don Davis never knew any of this and never would have known without his son and the internet. He knew he was adopted, he knew he was Canadian, he even knew he came from Nova Scotia, but he just never asked anything else of his parents.
I guess it's really because I was brought up so well and had that much love in my house and I love my parents, I didn't feel like I was missing anything.
Now Don Davis is intrigued. His mom and dad are dead, never telling him where he came from. But his son heard of the Butterbox mystery at a dinner last month. Don's wife then found an internet webpage devoted to finding Butterbox baby survivors. And though the records of who was born in this house were destroyed when the house burned down, the records of a guest house across the street remain intact. On May 21st, 1946, a couple with no children were registered guests. They were Mr. and Mrs. Lewis Davis, Don's mom and dad.
I knew that that was the complete story.
Now Davis is out to find the rest of his story. A number on his immigration card should match a number his biological mother was given at birth. With the number, he may soon have a name, and perhaps even a whole family he never knew existed.
Brothers and sisters?
It would be nice to have that.
And his real mom may have a son she thought was dead.
Any ladies back there, he has a real pronounced dimple in his chin under that beard.
She might not want to find out she has a son.
Don Davis says if he finds out his mother is still alive, he's going to try to meet her. Dozens of other Butterbox Baby survivors have been reunited with their real moms. They've been communicating through a network of survivors who've been getting in touch with each other over the internet. We'll let you know if Don finds his mom. I'm Griffin, CBS 2 News Special Assignment.